This is the new Patagonia Regulator Yulex wetsuit. Now, Patagonia have been making neoprene-free wetsuits for a while now, and this is a significant step forward in what they've been offering, brand new for 2024. So yeah, I'm Henry from Shore. I'm going to dive into this suit. So Patagonia were one of the first to come to market about a decade ago with a naturally sourced rubber wetsuit, basically. Not made of neoprene, but made of a naturally sourced rubber that allows the suit to be more environmentally friendly. A normal neoprene, so what Jack O'Neill used in his first suit 60, 70 years ago, is very much an oil-based process to create that rubber that you use to keep you warm. And over time, obviously, more chemicals can be added to make it more stretchy, and generally the whole process isn't particularly good for the planet in production, as it uses sort of oil as a basis. Now, Yulex, who Patagonia partnered with 10 years ago, were coming up with a solution to make it out of a natural plant-based rubber, basically. So rubber trees exist, and you can tap those trees to gain the rubber out of the tree, and then you can mold that in with a little bit of chemicals as well, obviously to like balance it off, but you can really put that into a suit and create a suitable or a viable alternative to a neoprene in a natural rubber, in this case called Yulex. So interestingly enough, we have some of the rubber in its pure form when it comes out of the tree or as before it's processed. So this sort of material, which is a natural material, gets mixed in with a few chemicals. So it's 85% this and 15% of a presumably chemical base, I don't really talk about what that is mixed into the suit and into the rubber to give you this sort of more natural rubber wetsuit, I suppose is the best way to put it. Now, when this first came out, there was a compromise. I think it's clear that you can look at those older suits. The flexibility and the warmth of those suits wasn't great, wasn't comparable with a petroleum-based neoprene. So what you're up against was you were trying to make the right decision if you were like looking into this of buying a naturally sourced rubber wetsuit that was going to be better for the planet, didn't use oil to be created, or you were up against a petroleum-based suit that was a lot more stretchy, felt a lot better on. But what the big leap forward is in this regulator suit, and why we're making this video, is that it's now far more comparable in terms of that flex and warmth and performance you get out of this new generation of Yulex suits. They don't name Yulex like Yulex 1, Yulex 2, Yulex 3. It's been a generational, slow, steady improvement. So every Patagonia suit has improved year on year, but this time, because of the big step forward, they've called it the Patagonia Regulator suit, because they really wanted to draw a line behind the old suits, which are still good, they're still suitable, but just not as comparable as these new regulators are with the top end suits from other manufacturers who are not using a naturally based rubber material in their suit. So that's where we are. Patagonia suits come in multiple different thicknesses. So you have R1, R2, R3, R4, R5. Now for the UK, we're mainly going to be looking at that R3, R4 range. So the R3 is a 4.5, 3.5 suit. So basically a 5.4, 5.3, and then the R4 is a 6.4, basically, 5.4, sorry, basically. But we'll have all the sort of thicknesses and temperature ranges up on here, so you can have a look at those. The suits come in chest zip, back zip, and some available in hooded as well. So again, we'll have that up on the suit there, depending on the sort of temperature you're into. But really, this Regulator series does a lot of things differently than the previous generation suits, which is what we wanted to get across. So firstly, the flexibility. Now, the new Yulex that they're using has a lot more stretch throughout the suit. So it feels a lot more softer, feels a lot more sort of, just when you even put it on, you can feel that difference and that evolution of that Yulex material throughout the whole suit. Internally, to try and increase the warmth, they've gone to a new higher pile lining. So previously, Patagonia used to do like a merino lining and stuff like that back in the early days, but they've now decided to go with this Jerry Lopez inspired print lining, so which is a high pile which runs from the chest down to the knees, which is on the sort of R3, R4, I think. And the idea is that water can drain through it, and if you're getting the water away from your core organs, away from your body, then the air can get in, and your body's a lot better at warming up that air than it would be to warming up the water. So the idea is it keeps you in there for longer, keeps you warmer for longer, and you can have a much better time on that. The suit also uses a solvent-free glue throughout the suit. This is pretty industry standard now, but it's worth mentioning that they are really trying on everything they do to minimize the environmental impact of producing one of these suits. And as I say, all made out of Yulex throughout, even down to sort of the neck collar, where that's very, very difficult to do in a Yulex, but they've done it in a double lined and it works really well. Now, It's worth pointing out with Patagonia suits, they do come with a ironclad lifetime guarantee. So what that means is that when they're designing these suits, they're not looking at the most high performance positioning. It's not about that performance end. It's about designing a suit that's going to be comfortable and last and also be repairable, because Patagonia, and I think we would all agree that it's better buying once, something that's going to last, something that's going to really keep you going, than buying multiple suits and burning all your money and, you know, not being able to repair them. So the panel layout is very much has that in mind, and again, that comes with all their learnings from the last decade of making suits. This Regulator series really does build upon that, and they've looked and they've actually spent time with the repair shops. You'd think it'd be mad, but a lot of brands don't even talk to the repair centres. They just send the suits, they're getting them repaired, send them back. Patagonia sat down with those guys and worked through them. And I know that from just being in the UK and speaking with the repair centres here, they actually do care and they want to improve that repair service, improve the lifetime of the suit. And to do that, you sometimes have to make different design decisions to the rest of the industry. So you have to make a more potentially boring looking suit, but if it's going to last and it's going to give you that time frame out of it, then it's surely worth it longer term. A few other bits, just little bits like the seams are cuffed at the end to create a lower surface area, so when you fall in you don't end up with elephant legs or water swooshing up your arm, and generally they're just really nice suits. You know, they're not the cheapest, you are paying for that natural rubber basis product, but as a comparable level, if you've got the options of a top end suit from another brand which isn't using natural rubber and this is using natural rubber, and there is a small price difference, if you're getting that ironclad lifetime guarantee and you're being able to make a conscious decision to buy a product that is better for the planet, you know, now that this material from the Regulator series has improved so much, it really is down to the customer to make that decision, and prices are, you know, they're within a reasonable distance from each other, so it's not as though it's a huge amount more to get a full Yulex wetsuit like this from Patagonia. So yeah, we have all these in store. We've got all the different thicknesses, so you can come down, you can try them on, even the big R5 thick boys for our more Scandinavian friends. They're all in the shop, or you can jump on our website, they're all on there as well. You know, these suits do create a lot of interest, so do drop us a comment on YouTube. You know, if we've got anything wrong or you want to ask us a question more about the environmental standpoint of these suits, do drop us a question. We can ask Patagonia. You know, they work with us as a pro store to ensure that we're up to speed as much as possible. But as you say, we probably sell a lot more wetsuits than they do, so it's about us giving them feedback as well. So yeah, any questions or anything like that, give us a shout. But yeah, that's the Patagonia Regulator series of wetsuits available here now at Shore.